Well, welcome back to Variant Quran. I'm Dr. Daniel Brubaker. 2 days ago when I made my first video answering some of your questions about my earlier videos for the first time, I mentioned that I had an upcoming small announcement. This video is that announcement video. Since I started this channel 6 weeks ago, I've been overwhelmed by the quantity and quality of the response to the videos, not only in the number of views that they have received and the number of subscribers, but also in the quantity and quality of the comments that I've seen at the bottom and the ongoing discussion as we've engaged. It's clear to me that this audience, you are a very smart audience, and it's just been a real privilege and surprise and honor for me to be able to be engaged with you in this. And I've been encouraged not only by the fact that you have taken seriously and spoken about the substance of the material, but also by the comments of well wishes and encouragement that you've given to me personally. That's been very nice to receive. So thank you for being here. I have been aware that some of you have been following me and amazingly have been interested in my work and wondering when I was going to be doing something like this for quite some time. And so it would be wonderful if everybody in the world, I hope that someday each one of you get to experience what I've experienced this past month, such a feeling of affection from so many people. And of course the affection hasn't been from everyone, but that's okay. That's the world that we live in. I appreciate you. Now, over the course of time since I started, I have received questions from several of you asking whether I would consider starting a Patreon account so that you could start participating with me in this work that I am doing. And I didn't want to rush into a thing like that, but I do feel that it's appropriate, and I do frankly need help from partners in continuing to do this work. It's important to do it for some reasons that I'll talk about. So I have now set up a Patreon account, and there you go, that's the rollout of this announcement. So I've set up a Patreon account, and it's linked at the bottom of this video, so you can go there if you want to begin supporting me in any way, in any amount whatsoever. It would be wonderful to do that. What will you be supporting if you support me? Well, number one, you'll be supporting me, Daniel Brubaker. You're going to be helping me to continue to do the kind of things that I've been doing this past month and a half. I'm going to try to create a steady flow of videos discussing Quran manuscripts, Quran variants, early history of the Quran, things related to this subject based upon my research, and then pulling in and discussing the research of others, everything current, and bringing in guest speakers and so forth. By the way, somebody made mention of an interest in the Sana Palimpsest 3 days ago when I made that last video, and it prompted me to reach out to Asma Hilali, who is one of the world's experts on the Sana Palimpsest, and she wrote and published a book with Brill. Sorry, it wasn't with Brill, on that palimpsest. I'll show you the book at some point. Asma is a friend and colleague of mine. I sent her an email, and she has agreed. The good news is that she's agreed to actually have a conversation with me on camera as soon as she's finished up with some previous obligations about the Sana Palimpsest. So you can look forward to that probably toward the end of August or the beginning of September. And that'll be wonderful to have her on. And we'll do more things like that with other experts in our field, have a wide conversation. I also have a discussion that I recorded with Gerd Puyn, who was one of the main people who was called upon to document, photograph, and catalog the Sana manuscripts back in the early 70s when they were first discovered. And he was here in my house last November, and we sat down and had a conversation. Unfortunately, the audio is not so good on that, but at some point I may post that up here because of a good conversation, and it was good to hear some of his reminiscences and reflections upon that amazing time when he was first going down and doing that work. So yes, so when you do support me, you'll be helping me to do this kind of work. And so number one, you'll be removing the financial concerns for me as I continue to do this. Number two, it'll help me to move forward more quickly with the things that I have in my mind. Some of you are just getting to know me, but I'm a visionary person. I have lots of ideas and come up with ideas far, far faster than I can ever realize them. And so one of the limiting factors in doing things and getting things into reality is obviously the financial piece of it. Projects sometimes move forward based upon the resources. So with your help, I can move things forward more quickly and bring things into reality that I may have had to pick and choose among different things. So yeah, that's it. So I've created some levels of support just for fun. I gave them some names. You'll see the theme in just a moment. The first level of support is the $1 level. And I've named that the scholar level of support. So if you want to be a scholar among my supporters, you can give $1 a month. The second level is the graduate level. It's for $5 a month. And if you give $5, you can be a graduate. Third is the assistant professor at $10 a month. Next is the professor. You can buy your way into a professorship for $25 a month. By the way, these are not accredited positions, so I won't be sending out a certificate of authenticity to you, but you will be a professor in among my support levels if you decide to do that. Number 5 is the level of Dean of Students for $50 a month. Next up is the $100 level, which is Vice President, followed by the $250 level, which is President. And I will be honored with any of those from any of you. All of our situations vary around the world. The incomes are different and so forth. By the way, I'm grateful to you if you're just watching these videos. I make no expectation that any of you will participate financially, although I'll be grateful to some of you who have the means to do so and have an interest in being part in that way. The good news is that I am well equipped. I already have the basic tools. I have, the ability to make videos and learn how to make videos, but I also have the PhD. I have the doctorate in the area, and I have a great library that I've assembled over a number of years and built. And by the way, I built these bookshelves myself, as well as filling them with books over the years. At some point, I'll take you around this library and show you sort of how it's arranged. Some of you have been curious about what's around these corners and have wanted me to discuss some of the books and the different sections of the library. So I'll do that at some time. In this sort of YouTube environment, not only do we pull down some of the barriers geographically of people crossing large distances to be able to attend a lecture, but also economically and in other ways, it just really makes possible a very wide discussion among a large number of people. Now, I do want to say thank you to those of you who have been specifically encouraging to me in the face of occasional harsh words and ad hominem attacks that are just part of our world today. I want you to know that despite my gentle and mild-mannered demeanor and approach, I'm actually fairly tough. If you're going to do something important in the world, you're going to face sometimes harsh criticism and pushback from certain areas. That's the way life is, and to be able to handle it and bear up under it. But that having been said, it's always wonderful to have friends come alongside and say, hey, good job, we support you. So thank you so much for that. Well, that's about it. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this video that was not very much in itself about Quran manuscripts, but it is relevant to the business that we're about. And the reality of the world is that we all need to have the provision for ourselves and our families as we go about our work. And that's why I bring this to you. So thank you in advance. And I do look forward to what we will do together. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye. Now, I know some of you, particularly in some parts of the world, may be looking and thinking, wow, $150, $100, $250, that's an enormous amount of money. And I just want to say I know that. And by the way, these levels are just suggestions that we've done for fun. And there's not an upper or a lower limit to this. I know that there are some people of you out there who have the capability to do much more. And I know that there are some people for whom even the smallest amount is a real burden. So I am just placing this before you, and we will see where it goes. But in reality, again, having the opportunity to have some financial resourcing does make many, many things possible. And if you trust me with the work, I will be most grateful for your partnership. Thank you so much for that. Now, if you are inside the United States and are interested in knowing how you can make a tax-deductible donation, there is a way for you to do that. And it is through a link that you can find at my website, danielbrubaker.com. You can click donate and it will take you to a place where you can make such a contribution. Thank you very much. I know that sometimes for people who are making larger donations, particularly in the United States, that can make a big difference. So want to let you know about that option also. Thank you.